There was an old argument of the opponents of Chassidim that the Chassidim invent all kinds of dates, new holidays, new celebrations, dates to commemorate. Yes, indeed, they're right. But we have to understand, this is not just to throw another party, but it's a day of reflection, a day of making commitments, a day of internalizing the meaning of what those dates are. One of those is actually today, the 20th day of the month of Av. What is it? In a moment I'll share with you. But first of all, one issue that has no dates, this is a constant thank you to Hashem. Mizmor l'soida. Ori l'Adonai kol haaretz, ivdu es Adonai b'simcha, v'oi lefanav b'yonana, d'uk Adonai Elohim, hu asan v'lo anach na'am v'tzoin marisoi, v'oi yishor b'soida chatzroisa b'shila, hoi dole b'chashemoi, doi v'Adonai le'olam chazdoi v'yadoir v'doir emunasoi. My dear friends, as you see, I'm outside. I don't have a pushka right over here. Please put a few coins. I'll do it later. But you, in the meantime, put in a few coins and have me in mind too. So what's today? Chafav, the 20th day of the month of Av, is the Yortzeit, the day of the passing of Rebbe Levik, as he was called, Rebbe Levi Yitzchak Schneerson, father of the Melech, father of the king, the Rebbe's father. A very brief history. Rebbe Levik was born the year 1878 on the 18th day of the month of Nisan. At the age of 22 in 1900, he married the Rebbe Tzanchana. 2 years later, on the 11th day of the month of Nisan, his oldest son, the Rebbe, was born. And as he realized from 11th to 18th, the Rebbe's bris was on Rebbe Levik's birthday. Now, these are not just accidents. There is a very powerful concept over here. At a Farbrengen, at a gathering, the Rebbe once said, and there was a time where the Rebbe was strongly disagreeing with a law affecting Jews' religion, etc., in Eretz Yisrael, negatively affecting us, I should emphasize. The Rebbe strongly criticized the government. While supporting Eretz Yisrael and all its, with its numerous activities and centers, hundreds and hundreds of Chabad centers in Eretz Yisrael, hundreds and hundreds of shluchim. Yet the Rebbe wasn't shy of criticizing when criticizing was necessary. At that time, the government said they started threatening the Rebbe. If the Rebbe will not stop criticizing, they're going to come out against his talks. They're going to dispute all his talks. And the Rebbe said, no, I would be happy for them to study it and show me where I was, if I was wrong. And then the Rebbe said, they threaten me with money. They will stop supporting my schools and so on. And the Rebbe then said, I guess they don't know that I was raised in a Schneerson family. A Schneerson you cannot threaten. Rebbe Levik embodied this concept of selfless devotion. Under any circumstance, he would not waver from the truth. He would not waver from his responsibilities. He would not waver of his task as the Rav of one of the biggest cities in Ukraine, then Yekaterinoslav, today Dnieper, where he would, under the most dire of circumstances, not succumb to the threats of the communist regime which was established while he was a Rav for 32 years. To the point that at one point, to illustrate this idea, at one point the government wanted everybody to fill out a form, a census taking, but also if they're Jewish or they're not Jewish, etc. They're religious, not religious, they believe in God, they don't believe in God. Communism at its peak of, I should say, the pit of the bottom, because communists cannot be high, it's only low. And Rebbe Levik went out and He spoke Shabbat in Shul clearly. Everybody should register as a Jew. Nobody should say they're not Jewish. When he was interrogated about it, he said, "You want me to be not truthful? I was telling people to say the truth." That was Reb Leivik. Brilliant, yet firm. And firm, I should say. Unfortunately, in 1939, he was finally arrested, or 38, after an extremely harsh year in prison, was exiled for 5 years to Chile, and then after 5 years he was moved over to Alma Ata, where unfortunately due to sickness he passed away at a young age in 1944. But the point is for us to emulate Rebbe Leivik, and we will see Rebbe Leivik together with his son, the Rebbe Melech HaMoshiach.